Welcome back to Families in Action, brought to you on our hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We are in studio today with really, it's funny, we did some panels last week a couple weeks ago at junior high school, and I was really using this term like my heroes. I'm so proud of these kids. I mean, you mentioned it before. These are the students, I think we have 10 there currently, 3 of our 10 students at the Action Academy, which is our sober school brought to you by the foundation, by the Action Family Foundation, and in partnership with the William S. Hart Union High School District. It's 7th through 12th grade, and it's designed, it's a voluntary program, but it's designed for kids that are getting a little bit off track, maybe with drugs, maybe not with drugs, that just need a fresh start away from all the peer pressure and all the stressors of their environment. So, the 3 students that are with us today, Abby. Hi, Abby. Just say hi in the thing.
Hi.
Right? Sabino.
What's up?
What's up?
What's
Mr.
up,
Cool.
dude?
That's
I
Mr.
like
Cool
that.
right there. And Kyle
Hello.
are with us today. These are 3, not that the other ones aren't, but these 3 are really, really success stories. All 3 of them are staying clean. All 3 of them are getting good grades. All 3 of them are showing up.
Staying clean? You mean they're taking baths?
They are finally showering. Absolutely. Staying clean and sober, right? Not using drugs, staying abstinent. And I think that as a result of that stopping their behavior, their relationship with their family is improving as well. So, but rather than me sit here and tell you all about it, why don't we just have them each kind of tell us where it all started for you guys, like your drug and alcohol use, right? Where it all started, what kind of trouble hit the fan, and how you ended up at the academy. And I think we're going to, we drew straws earlier, and Kyle won.
Did he?
So we're going to go ahead and start with Kyle today. Go ahead, Kyle.
All right. I think it all started when I was 5 and my dad had passed away, and that really depressed me, and it got better and I was more happy, and then my niece said she was going to kill herself, and that really messed with me, and it made me really depressed again. But before she had said that, I was thinking about maybe I want to try smoking. It sounds like fun. I wonder what it's like to get high. But then when she did that, I was like pretty determined to actually do it. So every time it kind of started to fall into place, something would happen. They'd lose the weed or something would just go down, and it always messed it up. But then it finally happened. It was about Halloween, and it was in the evening. I remember I waited like 3 hours for the kid to show up with the money, and then they came with the weed. Then we're all sitting there, we're sitting on a hill, and we start smoking. And I remember the first hit I took, I was like, I felt it in my legs, felt my legs were above my head.
You got pretty intoxicated off that first
Yeah.
time you did it? Yeah.
So then we
Pretty strong stuff these days.
Yeah, passed it around, and then I came back, and it was my first time. I didn't really know how to hold it. I was holding it all backwards. Oh, we're smoking out of a pipe. And then I figured it out, and after that, I was like really, I don't know, I couldn't even walk really. I could walk, but it felt really weird. And it was fun for like the first 10, 15 minutes, and then I started getting pretty paranoid. I was on a kind of like a mountain, and then down the mountain was a street, and people drive by, and someone would probably recognize me, and I kept walking out on the mountain to look out at all the lights, and I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I gotta go back because I get recognized. So it happened a couple times, and then I was seeing stuff. I saw like Ninja Turtles coming out of the sewer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like we chuckle about that, but there's, you know what I mean? Think about how strong that is. A lot of people think just marijuana, right? But here's, an example of somebody who's hallucinating the first time that they
And by the way,
use marijuana.
I was speaking to the Simi Police Department on Friday, and they're getting more and more people coming into their police departments and the psych hospitals, and I run a psych hospital at Henry Mayo, that are coming in hallucinating, psychotic, and the only thing we're finding is
Marijuana.
THC.
That's right.
So it's pretty frightening stuff right now. Sorry.
So go ahead.
So, and if I were to look up a little bit and I wasn't really focusing down, my shirt would change to red and white, and I'd think I was 8 for some reason. Also, I thought I was Spider-Man. I was like trying to run and climb up trees. It's pretty ridiculous, but
How old were you, Kyle?
I was 14.
Okay.
And so then after that, I had my mom come pick me up, and she didn't, like, I was pretty much sober by then. I just went to bed, and then I woke up the next morning. I couldn't really remember much of what I did last night. That was really the only parts I remembered of it. Then for the next, like, week, the night times were pretty blurry. Like, I had to really think about it. Then I had some weed that I picked up from that night, and I had it in my room, and I hadn't smoked it for a week or two. And then my mom had taken my sister to cheer, and I was like, okay, I have some time, so I was like, just smoke a little bit. And I went in the backyard, and there was just like a tiny bit of weed. Like, I didn't want to smoke a lot, and it was so small amount. And I had like a little bit, it didn't work too well, and I ran inside when I heard the garage door opening, and I just kind of, I guess I let out a little bit of smoke. And she walked in, and she's like, it smells like pot in here, it smells like pot. And it was just over and over. She kept saying it, and all of a sudden she like calmed down, and it was like shocking. And then I was pretty sweaty, like, I don't know, I was getting nervous. And then I was laying on the couch, and I was just about to fall asleep, and I thought I probably shouldn't fall asleep. She's going to search my room. And I said, no, I'm fine. Then I wake up, and she says, come here, and she takes me into my room, yeah. And she has my homemade bong that I had, and she's like, what's this? And she was just like on me, and then she's like, do you have anything else in your room? You can give it. I was like, can I give it to you and not get in trouble? And she said, yeah, that's fine. So I gave it to her. I like, what about the rest of the weed I had? I gave it to her. And we just sat there and talked, and she told me how she was disappointed, and that was my one free mess up. And I don't know, it was like, it sucked. And
Let me go ahead and cut in right there. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, we'll find out what Mom's reaction was and what happened after that. This is Families in Action, brought to you on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to Families in Action, brought to you on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. If you're just joining us, we're in studio with the Action Academy students, a couple of them, and you want to continue with Kyle, or you want to jump to Abby and let her dad get on the phone?
I want to jump to Abby. I want to bounce around. Then we're going to go back to Kyle. We're going to go to Sabina. We're going to hit them all. So, Abby, you're on. Tell us a little of your story.
Sorry.
And all that good stuff.
Okay, just like how I started.
Well, you remember you were walking down the street one day, and you looked up into the sky,
And a bottle of booze fell out of the sky.
and said, "Drink me."
That's how it happened? No, that's not how it happened.
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, well, so I do have a mom that is an alcoholic. Ever since in my childhood, she's been drinking, no matter what the situation was, always drinking. I've seen it. I guess to her, it didn't bother her that she was drinking in front of us. She gets verbally violent and physically violent with either me or my brothers and sisters or my dad. Years later, they separated, and that kind of like took a part of me. Like it hurt.
No matter how bad it is, with that, it's still your mom, and you want to protect her. And when that happens, it's sad. I had the same
Exactly.
situation, so I get it. It wasn't my mother; it was my father. But it weighs on you heavy, huh? Go ahead.
So then, around 2010, I had a sister that passed away. She was only 17 years old. She had a disease. I'm not sure what it was, but she just couldn't handle it any longer. And then that took even more on me because like she was one of my closest sisters. She's the one that I had the most bond with. So then around that time, my mom introduced me to she didn't really care, but my mom and my other sisters didn't really care too much, but give me some sips from beer thinking it was funny or
Cute.
it was okay. And I thought it was okay because, okay, my mom and sisters are saying it's okay, so I think it's okay for me to do it. So then I started drinking or whatever, and it was only for that moment. And then around 7th grade, that's when I was introduced to weed, mostly because of the friends I started hanging around with. And it was just mostly the friends that I was hanging around with. Started getting to the point where I was hanging around with older people and older people who I shouldn't be hanging around with. And I just started getting to the point where I was smoking a lot. It was something I did all the time. My grades dropped really badly, straight Fs. I did not care.
What people don't understand, especially with pot today, is it's got a 7-day half-life. Used to be 0.3 milligrams THC. That's the drug that gets you high in the pot. It's up to 30 milligrams THC in a regular, just hit off of a bong, up to 80 or 90% THC.
Yeah.
When it comes to the waxes and the edibles. So it's, I don't even know how many times, hundreds, it's stronger than it used to be. Messes immediately with your short-term memory. Why didn't you do your homework? I forgot. Why didn't you turn in your homework? I forgot. You lose your motivation. I don't like dance. Baseball's boring. All that kinds of stuff. And it's hard to blame it on what it really, the culprit is the pot.
Yes.
And then long-term memory loss and all kinds of headaches. So you're telling us exactly what we see all the time. You've been through a lot of stuff, girl.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just really put weed as my first priority in things. It was something that I wanted all the time. And let's see, it got to the point where I started drinking again, and I was just started getting used to it. I hated the taste at first, but then the more I drank, the more the more I got used to the taste. So I was like, okay, well, something I could drink now.
Plus, it worked for you. It took the pain away.
Yep. It's something that I did to cope with all the hurt I had.
Yeah, problem is it doesn't keep the pain away.
Exactly.
The pain's still there. Intensified when you get sober, when you stop drinking and using, so you have to drink and use more.
Yep.
And it just becomes a vicious cycle. You are awesome, by the way. How much time sober do you got?
I have about 50 days sober.
Wow, that's cool.
Nice.
That's
Can you hear the clapping?
No, and it's not easy because all those feelings come back now and now, especially, how old are you?
16.
You got to learn how to cope with all that stuff.
Yep.
Just remember that it gets better.
Yep.
So real quick before we go on the break, I think your dad's on the line, right? You want to say a few things, or you want to bring him back
It
afterwards?
sounds like your dad's always been there.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to say something to your dad?
He can hear you if you want to. He should be on there. Yeah, he can hear you.
Yes, I am. I'm right here.
I could hear him.
You're on the air.
Hey,
with,
Dad.
You're on the air with Families in Action and your daughter. And hey, do you want to say something to your dad?
Dad, I love you, and I'm very glad that you've been there every step of the way throughout my sobriety. I know we go through our ups and downs, but you've been the only one there for me, so I thank you for that, and I love you.
I love you too, Ika. I am extremely, extremely proud of you and all the effort that you put in trying to be a better person, both in school, family, and with your sobriety. It's a big thing for me because being a single dad, trying my best for you, you're giving me everything that I need to make sure that I can succeed for you too. So you doing this for us, meaning your younger sister, your brother, and myself, gives us the strength to keep going and to keep this family together. I am very proud of you. I love you, Ika, with all my heart. Thank you.
I love you too.
Hey, you know what, Dad? You got one awesome kid here. We're real
Yes.
proud. We're real proud.
Yes,
of
I
her.
do.
That's for sure. You know what I'm gonna do? Come here. Give me a hug. This is from me. Give me another hug.
Oh.
This is from your dad because he's not here.
That's right.
Wow, Bob. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Take us a
Yeah,
break.
good stuff. All right, this is Families in Action, brought to you on our hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.